It is finally time to start talking about automations on this channel. Now, I was originally going to start doing this after doing a bunch of updated tutorials for other AI programs for writers like Novel Crafter, Sudowrite, and Raptorite. But honestly, I find that I have so much fun with the automations, and they are personally all I use now for myself. So I decided I'd start making more content on this subject because I've learned that we've got to just go with what lights us up the most rather than what we think people might want or need, or making content about your strongest affiliate just because they pay you well. So I'm going to start talking about automations. I've had absolutely a blast playing around with them and building new ones, and I've got many more that I've been working on and have in the pipeline. And so what we're going to be doing in the near future is I'm going to be having most of the videos that you will see coming out over the next couple of months will all be about different automations or skills needed to improve your automations. So what exactly are automations and why should we use them? Simply put, an AI automation is a series of steps that AI takes automatically, saving you a lot of time that you no longer have to spend doing multiple steps in a chatbot or something similar. And while that might not sound like such a groundbreaking thing, it really is. I have found that my ability to write quickly or to get certain tasks done quickly has skyrocketed since I started using automations. Things that probably would have taken me an hour to do just by, copying and pasting a bunch of prompts and other materials, as well as writing my own prompts and things in a chatbot in a multi-step process to produce some kind of result, I can now do with a single click, and then I can just sit back and not worry about it until the automation is done. Now, I do want to differentiate the idea of automations versus agents. A lot of people kind of confuse the two and they put the two together, but they are a little bit different. So let me explain. An automation is just a series of steps that happen. You can think of it as a series of prompts, but it's not just AI prompting. There's other steps that could be involved there. Whereas an AI agent is really more of think of it as an autonomous individual, as a sort of intern that can, to a certain extent, think for itself. Now, I do use AI agents in some of my automations, but I don't rely on them too heavily because in my use cases, they're not quite at the point where I would trust them to do much. But they do some simple tasks for me inside of an automation. So an agent can exist inside of an actual automation, whereas the automation is the full path that several AI agents or several AI prompts will all be strung together. Now, a year or two ago, AI was not really at the level where it worked well to automate what it did, because it required far more micromanaging at every single step of the process. And while that's still the same today to a certain extent, you do need to micromanage AI a lot more than you would with, say, a ghostwriter or an actual human. It's far less of an issue now than it used to be. And there are many steps of the process that can be fully automated, and then we bring the human in at key points in the process where they bring their own creativity to the table. That way you're not wasting time doing stuff that you either don't want to do or tasks that are taking away from the actual creative work of the process. And this is why I tell people that AI isn't a replacement for their creativity. It actually takes away the parts of your life that are distracting you and allowing you to focus more on the creative parts or the parts that you love to do the most. And if you're interested in seeing how that can work for you, go check out my Story Hacker Gold group down below to learn how. We've got a lot of resources there to build you up into a writing and AI machine, essentially. All right, so how do you do automations? I'm going to introduce you to two tools right now. The first is called Make. You may have heard of it, called Make.com. And this is roughly what it looks like. If you check out one of the automations here, you'll see there are multiple steps in the process, and it looks pretty simple overall, but you can clearly see the path that it's taking, right? And I'm going to do a full video comparing Make to this second automation tool called N8N. And N8N works very similarly. And you'll have like a set of steps that'll happen and so forth. So they both function in a very similar way. And again, I will do a more detailed comparison between the two because there is one that I think is superior. for authors at least, and most of the use cases that authors have. But just know that while there are other automation tools out there, there's Zapier, there's one from Google that the name is escaping me at the moment. But these are the two you will hear about the most, and they're by far the most commonly used, at least for AI automation types. And while I will be going deep on every single automation that I've made so far, I do want to kind of just show off briefly what this looks like. So without getting into too much detail, this right here is a short little automation I created that allows you to bring in a document full of short stories. Okay, so the document can have multiple short stories in it. And what it'll do is it will go through each short story individually and run a very detailed analysis of that short story in a way that is designed to help the human learn how to write a good short story, essentially, and learn what is making these stories tick. And the way it works is it starts out with just a manual execution. So you click a button, basically. It goes and creates a new document for its analysis to be deposited into. It then, in this step, goes and gets the document that has all the short stories in it, and it splits those up by headers. So it looks at the headers for each short story, and now it knows that we're going to be running a prompt on just one at a time. And from there, it creates this loop that you can see. So it continues to do this loop on each of the short stories individually, and it runs a single prompt on that document on each short story, looking for different things like what's a quick summary of the short story? What's the hook of the short story? Who are all the characters that are listed in the short story? What do we get in terms of world building or the setting? What's the inciting incident? What's the conflict? What's the magic sword, which is a term that we talk about in my group? What are the different try-fail cycles? What's the climax? What's the denouement? I'll have it give a couple of prose examples, giving some of the best examples of the prose from the book. And then this all is just formatting information on how I want it to be formatted in its output. And then it takes what that output gives it and it dumps it right here into a new document, into the one that was created here in the beginning. It updates that document, and then it repeats this cycle on each short story in the document. So if you only have one short story in your document, great. It will just go through and it'll be done in one loop. But if you have, say, 10 short stories in one document, it will just go through and repeat this process for each one. So you can just go and have your coffee and come back when it's ready. The reason I use this as my example is because we in the Story Hacker Gold group are very concerned with making sure we're actually improving as authors and learning what makes these things tick. So every quarter, we have a challenge where we write a short story without AI, but using AI in ways like this to learn what makes a good short story. When we write a short story without AI in the actual writing process, and then we submit it to the Writers of the Future contest. And we've only done this once. We're about to do it again in January. But the first time that we did it, we actually got 3 members of our group. I don't know what percentage that is of the people that actually submitted, but it's a high percentage. 3 members of the group who actually got an honorable mention in the Writers of the Future contest. And if you're familiar with the Writers of the Future contest, you'll know there are thousands, potentially tens of thousands of submissions every quarter. And to get an honorable mention alone, even though you're not in the top 3, is still a huge honor. And so the fact that we had 3 authors who got there without, this was our first time, is really incredible to me. And one of the big things that I think contributed to that was the fact that we used AI in this manner to help us learn what makes a good short story, because we put the winners of past Writers of the Future contests into this automation and allowed it to sort of teach us what was making those stories so impactful. And then we could go on and write our own short stories. So it's really a cool way that we've managed to do this process inside of the Story Hacker Gold. And this is just one of many automations that I have available, all of which are available in the Story Hacker Gold program, by the way. I'll just give you a quick example of another one that's a little bit more complex just to see the potential here. I'm not really going to talk too much about this in detail, but suffice it to say, what this does is it takes a bunch of books in a particular genre and it isolates all of the similarities between them so that you can essentially know how to write a book in the same genre. So it looks at tropes, it looks at the plot, it looks at the characters, the world building, the themes, the prose, the marketing. It looks at their books descriptions and sees what it's doing there, and creates this really awesome guide. Now, this is one that I use for me in my business personally. Not necessarily one that I share publicly, but you can just see just how complex this thing is and what it's capable of doing. So really cool stuff that is possible with these automations. And I look forward in the future to sharing a whole bunch of the techniques and tips that I have found work for me, as well as give you ideas on different ways that you could build an automation to create in really cool things for your business. And I'm also tracking a few things in my business, things that I'm publishing that have been largely made possible because of automations like this. People ask me all the time if I'm going to make my own software, and my answer for that, at least for now, is no. Because why do that when I can teach people how to easily create tools like these automations, each one of which could be a standalone software? If I sold any of them as a software, you would have to use it in the way I had built it. But if I teach you how to use automations, you can take my automations and make them your own, tweaking and improving for your specific use case that I could not possibly anticipate. So I'm going to keep you in the loop on all of that, and look forward to the next video where we're going to be talking about the difference between N8N and Make and which one I recommend. And I'll see you there.